This is Urotherapy training class number 29.5. This is the final of a series, and we want to acknowledge all the students who've been making it to class. Yes, my star pupil happens to be the last one standing in the class. The other one's dropped off, and how you pulled it off. Good job. So we got our water. This is the water of life. This is the water that has granted life from the beginning. Even when we went from a sperm and an egg and started multiplying and growing, and a fetus developed, and it took it from there, and the spark is still with us today. So we're excited that we can honor and celebrate our life and our bodies by accepting this lovely gift and returning it back to ourselves, so that more of it can be produced, and a better quality of life can be made for us. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Dink. All right, let's get going. Pop quiz.
Right.
Pop quiz. You love it when I pop quiz. Okay.
I do.
What is meant by Shiva is a universal remedy?
It's good for everything, anything and everything. A universal, probably going to say this wrong. Passion, whatever that word is.
Panacea.
Panacea. That's what it is. Thank you.
I'm glad you didn't say medicine. Okay. Panacea, elixir, whatever you want to call it. Does it make a difference if you use a man's or a woman's urine when treating a child or a member of your family?
No.
Why is that?
Because it's a universal, all-encompassing. Everybody's got the stem cells, and all the vitamins and nutrients and minerals that are included in it.
Yes. Another way of saying that is that everybody's body has the intelligence to be able to identify what that is. Everybody's body knows what this stuff is, regardless of our understanding and our intelligence about it. So it's really not like that difficult to get. Understand. A brief description. What is known as saturation and dosing? Why do we do this? And is it have any side effects or harm it could cause?
No side effects or harm. There can be certain detox symptoms. Saturation dosing is as much as possible all over. Inside, outside, bathing in it, eyeballs, hair, drinking it, soaking your feet in it, ears, nose. I said eyes already.
Feet?
Feet, yep. Soaking your feet.
Any enemas?
Enemas. That would be part of the inside part, I guess. Inside and outside.
Yeah, but it's a topical, but it's also an internal. So yeah. All right. So those are basically, I'm not going to go into all the details. There's a category also. What does alchemizes mean in terms of Shivambu touching anything?
Alchemizes anything that it touches. Like, I'm gonna say like makes it neutral, but I don't know if that's the right.
Sterilizes it.
Sterilizes, yes.
And what does that mean?
Cleans it. Cleans it out. So, for example, if you don't have soap to wash your hands when you're in a disgusting public bathroom, you just go pee on them quick.
Exactly. And perhaps we're going to get to the future. We're going to go. I should have put this in the book. It just dawned on me. There's the master teachers, and then we're going to look at the future. In the future, they'll have a sign that says something about use your own urine as a disinfectant because we don't supply soap.
Perfect.
Something like that. Anyway, so that's what that's all about. They're called the Shivambu wisdoms. And the reason we call them the Shivambu wisdoms is because once you understand them and you have a grasp of those, it'll help to guide you and to give you a better handle on whatever it is you're going through. Also, it's a great way, and the way I teach, and you probably are doing this already, Keenan, is you teach multi-generational.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm teaching you, by way of teaching you, you're going to be using this to teach other people, and the people who will play this back are learning. So we're teaching in many different dimensions and different levels.
Absolutely.
It's like life is a metaphor. And you learn is something to learn. All right. What does it mean by it's an intuitive water? What the heck does that mean?
Intuitive water, that means that it heals what it needs to heal. So you don't like, unlike traditional prescriptions that are only focusing on like one thing, it heals what needs to be healed. Oh, you said this, I want to say in like the first call. It focuses on what needs to be healed first, and then we'll continue to work deeper.
Well, let's back it up a little bit and define the word intuition. What's your intuition? Tell you about intuition.
Listening to source,
Yes.
listening to your body and what
Yes.
your body is telling you.
Yes, it's your guidance system.
Mm-hmm.
So why it's called an intuitive medicine or intuitive elixir or panacea, because since it comes from within you, so does the guidance system. And when we get that the guidance system is our intuition and the water comes with that, you don't have to reach out to Keegan or Brother Sage or anybody to figure that out, because the answer is already within it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's very empowering to realize that you have that. What does the body-mind connection have to do with whether Shivambu works or not?
Well, you have to believe that it's going to work. You can't just drink it and think, oh, well, this isn't going to work. I'm still sick. Da, 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 da. You have to believe that it works. You have to change your mindset that that is the best thing for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the body-mind connection is 4 different items, so 4 different pillars of your health. Do you know what they are?
Spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical.
Correct. So I don't know if you spend much time on social media, but people every now and then they say, well, I've been drinking this for 4 months and I really haven't noticed any improvement. And I'm so tempted to jump on a lot of these posts because I want to steer them right. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do, and I go, well, have you changed anything else in your life, in your lifestyle, your diet? Do you exercise? Do you have healthy emotional balance? How are your relationships getting along? Are you having a tough time with money? Do you have any kind of self-nurturing practices? So I want to look at the different areas of your life. Why? Is because it's all connected.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you get all those back in balance, then everything works better. Even not just the Shivambu, but everything.
Right.
That's why. And that helps answer the question when people say, will it cure this condition or that condition? I say, maybe.
It depends.
Well, it depends, which will drive them nuts because they expect me to be like the answer man. Anything's dealing with the subject in wellness, they go, what kind of answer is that? Well, there's some other factors you have to, built into this. You can't just, yeah, thank you. So that's why that works. And the other counterpart, the other thing that makes it work is called faith, which you've already spoken about. If you believe it works, it will work. Can you describe and explain 3 topical protocols that you learned about in this class? What do you use? What are the equipment you use? And what good are they?
What do I use specifically?
No. There are 24 topical protocols that happen to be available in this classical UT book. I get bragging rights in this book, and there's 3 of them that you are going to, the request is name 3 of them. What equipment do you use for them? I mean, this is for students. And what are they good for?
Foot soaks. All you need is a bucket where your feet will fit in, preferably up to the ankle area, because that then also covers your reproductive organs. And foot soaks are also great because your feet have the large pores in your body. And that's good for all sorts of things. It's a good introductory practice for people who don't necessarily want to start drinking it right away. Have suggested that to a few people. So that's one. And then another one would be rubbings or massages. You can use a spray bottle, don't necessarily need one. You can just dump it on and rub it in. And that's
This makes
good.
a great washcloth. It's called
Yeah. And that's good for lots of various skin ailments and issues, especially anything from burns to psoriasis to eczema and acne, stretch marks, all sorts of things. Bee stings. Oh yes, any kind of bee stings. Good for all those. Oh yeah.
Wasps. Nanowar.
Anything with a stinger.
Anything was. What about poison ivy and poison oak?
I haven't experienced firsthand, but I would assume that that would work for that also.
Yes.
Keep on rubbing, or like compresses, like if it's a sting, for example, compresses in that specific area. And then a third one would be little eye cups or goggles, and then eye rinses. Good for improving vision and whitening the whites of your eyes.
So those that just didn't catch that, what she meant, they're 2 different items: eye cup or goggles, not eye cup goggles.
Eye cups or goggles.
Or goggles.
Actually, here,
you happen to get some goggles?
I did.
Eye cup.
Kids keep I have both actually. And they're yellow.
Oh, how appropriate. They color coordinated.
Yeah, I gotta readjust them though, because my kids kept playing with them, so now they're all messed up.
Wonderful, wonderful. So these protocols are very effective, and it's a great way to accelerate the healing process from just doing oral intake.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we bring all these topical protocols to the conversation and to the teaching, because most people identify urine therapy with just drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice to let people know, well, if that ain't your thing, get it in here any way you can. Put it on you if you can. What's a good way to design general treatment suggestions? And well, let's go back it up. What is it? Why do we call it general treatment suggestions and not diagnose and prescribe?
We don't diagnose and prescribe.
I gave it away.
Yes, because we're not doctors. We don't offer medical advice for educational purposes only.
And entertainment.
Entertainment, yes.
So that's why we don't do that. We call them general treatment suggestions because realizing or remembering that people's intuition is what's going to design their treatment suggestions. What we've laid out in the books, as well as in the Golden Fountain book, is the topical protocols that go great with the oral protocols that have proven themselves over many, many years of practice. So if someone has whatever the condition is, you'll look at these suggestions and come up with your own ideas after a while, but these are great guidelines for someone comes up to you and says, well, I have asthma. Well, you want to drink it, you want to put it on your lungs, you want to do a foot soak, get an enema, rub it on, whatever. And that helps them to get in the practice of seeing how it's done, and then ultimately their intuition kicks in and they can design their own. Can you name any, not all, because that's a long list, any of the 5,661 nutrients in human urine? Can you name a few?
Oh, geez. Melatonin is the first one that comes to mind. Amino acids,
Serotonin,
serotonin,
DHEA,
uh, cortisol. Is it
quercetin,
DHEA? What was the last one you said?
quercetin,
Okay. Um,
B vitamins.
there's like
Three.
so many. I'm like having like a brain fart.
That's okay.
All the vitamins and minerals.
Vitamins, minerals, essential
Um,
fatty acids,
yeah,
carbohydrates,
hormones.
hormones. Uh, I believe there's probiotics in there as well. Enzymes are in there, which is a reason you don't want to boil your urine
Mhm.
because you'll wreck it.
Urea.
Urea, ammonia, nicotinic acid, phenylcysteine, phenylalanine, ornithine, arginine,
Do you have all 5,000 memorized?
maybe 25. That would, if I pull that one off, people will realize that anybody can have a larger memory storage ability,
hmm
that we can actually hold that much info in our brain.
Oh yeah, I was looking at memory training the other day. That's fascinating.
It is.
Yeah.
And can you remember any of the training?
I didn't actually go through any of the training. I was just like doing some research. They have these because they were talking about how oh, what do they call it? Um
They're mnemonics.
a memory palace was one of them. Is how Sherlock Holmes like remembered all of the things. It's
Yes.
like, oh,
Yeah, there was words for them like mnemonics or some kind of word.
yeah, yeah,
It's like a symbol or something that would trigger what that was.
yeah, yeah.
Excellent. A few more questions, then we'll get into class here. What's the advantage of drinking through the nose compared to drinking through the mouth?
Gets straight up into your brain and gets those neurons firing.
Okay, does it do anything for
Decalcifies your pineal glands or pineal gland, um, flushes out the sinuses and all the junk stuck in there.
it also hydrates
Hydrates, yes,
those,
hydrates the
those
sinuses.
dried tunnel system, whatever you want to call
Mhm.
it. How do you introduce, this may be my last question. How do you introduce urine drinking, pee drinking to newbies?
Dip your finger in it first, put it on your tongue.
Well, before you do the baby steps,
Oh,
how do you, this is a good question because I know you've been practicing.
yeah.
What do? You hear somebody, they got health problems. They got something going on with their skin, whatever it is. They're complaining. They don't know what to do. And they found you. How do you break the ice and get it into the conversation?
Other than just going straight for the jugular, telling people to drink their pee.
I mean,
Um,
that's honest. That's straightforward.
yeah, yeah. It's funny because one of my friends was actually talking about stuff the other night, and it's like, just drink your pee, you'll be good.
Yeah,
Um, introducing, maybe the fact that, sorry, daughter's in here. There's other alternatives, natural alternatives other than what the medical system has shown us, and that it's possible.
you're getting a echo effect.
It's my daughter is moving the chair next to me.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Hi, sweetie.
That people have healed themselves, from just the power of their mind, and Orin is just another step up. It's a 5,000-year-old ancient healing practice, practiced by over 500 million people worldwide.
Look through the book and reread some of the questions you'll ask them. The first question you'd want to ask someone is, do you have an open mind?
Mm-hmm.
Because what I'm about to suggest to you is going to require an open mind. I took this class with this guy out in Kauai online. I took this class with this guy. We happened to both wear yellow that day. And he said, if you keep an open mind, I will tell you about something that millions of people are using to heal every condition that has a lot of experience and a lot of that now there's science behind it.
Mhm.
To can overcome anything. If that's something you're interested, let me know. You're not going to tell me to drink my pee, are you? I said, yes, I am. Grab your cup. We'll get it going. And I hope that happens to you one day. I've had people that they really, it landed for them when I told them this was like over social media, some of them in person. They said, okay, you got me. I'm in. They go to the bathroom. They would pee. They would collect. They would come back. They're going, it's now or never. And they would do their maiden voyage on a camera with someone they just met.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. So anything is possible. Any questions before we go forward into the book?
Nope, not yet.
Okay. On page 234, there's a giant stuffed something or other walking around your room. Whatever that is.
It's my stuffed mushroom. That's Gilly Sporman.
Gilly's what?
Gilly Sporman.
Oh,
It's our stuffed mushroom.
is he an Amanita?
It's yes.
Adorable. You've got a stuffed mushroom. You're going to learn a lot. All right, so on page 234, we've highlighted and gave the acknowledgement to the superstars, the master teachers, the superstars in the Shivambu movement. And some of these men and women, I've had the honor and the pleasure to interview them on Zoom and social media. And so I wanted to list them because the people who hold the knowledge and the wisdom are often our elders, and society has all but taught us to ignore them. And so as someone who wants to honor the traditions that have come generations before them, it's a good idea to honor the elders.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have lists of people who've been practicing Shivambu for 45 years, 55 years or longer. And I'm just going to read their names kind of quick here. Some of them you've heard of, some of you have not. And there's more names that I wrote in my copy of the book, which I will mention. You can't screenshot that. I'd have to screenshot it for you. Boy, your eyes got really wide on that one. What is that? All right, Dr. Tal Schaller, he's out in France. Dr. Radshak Malota, him and his wife are up to 55 years since this book was published. Dr. Patel, he wrote the well-known book, Madhav Mudra. He's not around anymore, but I wanted to acknowledge him. Dr. Qatar, Dr. Thakar, Saraswati, the folks at the Water of Life Foundation, the Miracles of Urine Therapy book by C.P. Mathal, Cohen Vanderkroon out in Holland, who wrote the book which became my Bible, The Golden Fountain. Brother Sage in his book series, Leonard Orr, The Secrets of Youthing, Andrew Norton Weber, Dr. Bunmi Samola, who's out in Nigeria, George Johnson, who's in North Dakota, Dr. David Jubb, who's the author and lecturer on UT, who's been a breatharian for 10 years, pretty far out. Harold Tichy, Urine, the Holy Water book. Martha Christie, everybody seems to know about her. Your Own Perfect Medicine. John W. Armstrong, The Water of Life. Beatrice Barnett, Urine Therapy, It May Save Your Life. Flora Bomber, Urine Therapy, Nature's Elixir for Good Health. Dr. Mike Whitcourt out there in Chicago. He's now up to 25 years. Martin Lara, Harry Matadine, Robert Molson, who's in Portugal. Monica Schuett, who I always thought she was our poster child. She never aged. She was on all the time doing urine therapy talks and teaching people about a hot tub, bathing with aged urine in a hot tub. And she's still around, but she's not ready to come back on social media yet. She said it was just overwhelming to be on social media and everybody was reaching out at her, and she's going, I had enough.
Yeah.
I can relate, but I'm still in it. Dr. Denise Michel, he's out there in Holland. I think he's Holland, Netherlands. Marin, Alcoar Marin, Dr. Rosin Hansen, Casey Caban also goes by the name We Do Shivambu. Allegedly Dave Murphy, who did the 30-day urine fast. Troy Casey, certified health nut. Stephen Williams, who put the documentary Urine Therapy, Urine Aid back in 2001. Anthony A.K. King, Sandy Rogers, Fabian Farquarian, Stampana Osentosi, she's out in Botswana. Leah Sampson, we read her story. Shirley of Shirley's Wellness Cafe, she's been posting great content about health and healing for about 40 years. Ruby Cario, Dr. Phillips, Dave Phillips is not a doctor. John DePass and Brian Justice. So here's some new names that came on the scene in the last 5 years. Some of them you may remember, some of them you've never heard of, but if there's ever a third edition of this book, they'll be included. Jonathan Otto, Scott McKay, the Patriot Street Fighter, David Wolf, Avocado Wolf.
Oh, yes.
Yep. He did a talk with Dr. Ed Group about urine therapy, and I thought, it's about time David got on board.
Yeah, I've been following him for a long time.
He actually has property on this island, but the guys that are close to him won't give me his phone number. I can relate.
I may have a connection for you.
Cool. Pass it along. All right. Eric Asano, Mike Perry, Kate Stillman, if any of these names ring a bell. Amanda Vollmer, who's in Canada. Chitta Sena, my son out in North Carolina. Rodney Levoyer, senior. He's in I think he's a junior. He's in California. Did I mention him before?
I'm not sure.
He was in Hollywood. He was a model in Hollywood. No, he got his claim to fame from the survival reality TV show. He was on the survival show.
Huh.
But then his eyes woke up and he discovered there was a lot of dark side to Hollywood, which we don't know about. So he walked away and his life got directed toward urine therapy. So he ends up changing everything and he became known as the Plasma King and was all over the place talking about urine therapy. We have Christopher Key, who goes under the name Vaccine Police. He came out publicly and told people you could use Shivambu to heal the. You know what? We don't want this kicked off Rumble. So that's him, and he's still going around, but he won't say the VAX. He'll say V, and everybody knows what he's talking about by now. Kiana and Angel out there in Oahu. Megan McDonald, she's in Canada. She's a naturopath. She's actually working with several colleagues to bring research out publicly that shows there's stem cells in aged urine, and it has even more benefit for humans than fresh.
Oh, wow.
So once that's available and we have the science and the peer review articles and it's already been, approved of in a university system, we can take it viral.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
You'll get that. So will pretty much everybody in the movement. Darlene Thean, she's also in Canada, another naturopath. Katie Kirchie, she's out in Arkansas. She's an awesome iridologist. If you need any iridology. And there's a lot more people than that, but that's what I've got so far.
Awesome.
So when you see the new names and the new faces show up on social media, and you notice they have quite a following, pay attention. You might be one of them. You never know. I know I have some friends that go, I don't want social media. I want to stay away from social media. I said, I would have too, but some of these messages are more important than keeping it to yourself. that can help liberate a whole humanity, like, why do I want to keep that to myself?
Yeah, I agree.
You have to weigh it out. We're on chapter 20. The future. I went into the DeLorean and looked at the time machine, and it said, "Hey, it happened." Now, this vision came through in 2017 and was first published in the Healing Water from Within book. And since this vision was published, many of things that we're going to read about have come true. They didn't exist back then. And I'm going, wow, people are actually putting urine in their enemas and in colonics and doing urine therapy injections. I'm going, can't wait till an office opens up in a town where they're doing UT injections. I mean, that'd be a whole nother paradigm right there. So, do you have it open to that page?
Yep.
Would you mind reading a couple paragraphs until you can't stand it? Yeah, clear your throat.
Oh my gosh. Excuse me.
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
There's an increasing worldwide interest in becoming an Urotherapy teacher. This is resulting in the creation of UT schools, educational programs, home study classes, and conferences. Our voices are being heard. The Shivambu movement is growing. There is still so much more work to do as our message is being spread mostly through social media, radio, TV shows, and interviews. Every day, more are taking this message and mission to the streets and to the people who need a miracle. This has been an organically growing grassroots movement up until 2020. Moved by the healing of our own bodies, courageous individuals like you are putting aside concerns and fear and offering a life-saving remedy by telling their friends and family about their discovery of AUT. Are you among the Shivambu warriors? As billions of people desperately seeking answers to their serious illness and well-being become more disappointed by the medical establishment, it will be up to us to speak up and take action. We need to continue sharing the Shivambu message to all of humanity. Let this be the day that world governments and their media tell the people of the world the truth about AUT. Through spreading the education and awareness of AUT, the Shivambu organization will be producing several AUT educational and instructional projects for 2021-2022 to empower everyone in this life-changing practice. Outreach programs, local water community meetings, support groups, and UT teaching and therapy centers are being established in Africa, USA, UK, Germany, Australia, and other countries. Shivambu's documentaries, trainings, and research findings will be taught in schools, universities, churches, AA meetings, recovery centers, senior centers, wellness centers, websites, and movie theaters across the world. Our tools are making AUT topics engaging for young and old viewers, which is sparking excitement for future study. With the training and confidence gained in upcoming UT teachers and therapists, many more are able to help their clients in their recovery to restore their health and achieve a better quality of life. We continue to be blessed with countless numbers of Shivambu enthusiasts joining us with their time, talent, energy, and voices to the movement of all movements. Your devotion to UT practices and compassions for sisters and brothers is greatly appreciated and needed now more than any time in history. The wisdom and ability of all humanity to take self-healing into their own hands is changing the healthcare system on this planet forever. Shivambu is here to bring health freedom to many generations living today and well into the future. Those with questions on how to join Shivambu in this worldwide mission or have suggestions, donations, proposals, or ideas for our future work, reach out through shivambu.org. Following the Shivambu Trail documentary, we'll travel the world with Brother Sage, assistant, and a camera crew spreading the Shivambu message along with Urotherapy stories and recording inspiring news from people on the streets around the world. Spin-offs will come after this book is published, which will include radio, television, internet, talk show, interviews, and articles. More respected celebrities will be coming forward and lending their names and reputations by endorsing AUT for the world to discover this practice for themselves. Shivambu will be producing live streaming webinars teaching UT courses for beginners, UT 101 classes through master teacher level. They will also be offering Zoom UT conference calls with a Q&A format for audience participation. We will be filming Brother Sage and Shivambu team hosting tables at popular public gathering places and events. Enjoy watching us presenting and dialoguing with individuals as we introduce AUT and answer all questions about it. There is a growing interest in becoming an oral therapy teacher in the United States and across the planet. This will result in the creation of oral therapy schools, educational programs, and uncertification. The term uncertification describes oral therapy practitioners who are pre-qualified from years of direct personal experience and results backed by their Shivambu lifestyle and remarkable health. These are all the credentials you will ever need. UT teachers will be grandfathered in by their commitment to share this important work. A percentage of the proceeds from fundraisers for the Shivambu organization go to causes and individuals who make a difference in the world. The purchase of property housing Shivambu headquarters will be established as the Purification and Retreat Center of the Pacific.
Still holding that vision.
It's beautiful.
So, congratulations for being uncertified. And I put that out there because a lot of people who want to be body workers, whether it's massage, reflexology, or various forms of bodywork shiatsu, a lot of times their talent is so off the charts. They just have the touch, they have the feel, they're great at it, but they feel pressured to go into the system to put in 500 hours of training and get their certificate and da. And there's a lot of people who do this that aren't in the system and still getting a great results in building a good practice. But we're doing this with golden water. So as you can see, that what you've read, many of this is already playing out right now, has come true. I mean, some of the things I just started back then with teaching on the streets, getting meetup groups into town, having courses and classes and conference calls, and the following Shivambu Trail has gotten as far as Hawaii. It hasn't gone to Asia or Australia or any of those places, but who knows? Maybe it will. Here's the future. What time is it? All right, 11:12, 1 o'clock. We'll take a break in 45 minutes. The future of auto-urine therapy gets confirmed. The power gets confirmed by a medically controlled double-blind study. The lab test results will become the gold standard, no pun intended, for AUT's acknowledgement as the perfect medicine for humanity. Peer-reviewed published articles begin appearing on universities and medical websites and in natural healing publications. This has been done since 2018. This is being done. Like that university that shows they have 5,661 ingredients. That's on there. There's even medpub.gov or med. Whatever it is. They have articles about stem cells in human urine. There are more scientific websites, university websites, and government websites that are discussing this. The double-blind study, let's go back. They finance the staff. Oh, the Shivambu nonprofit organization will be blessed with a wealthy philanthropist who will not only sponsor the double-blind study, they finance the staff, directors, and projects for Shivambu. This financial source has no economic or political interest in Orin being tested. I have to let that drop in and feel that to be true.
Yeah.
There can actually be a money angel that shows up in my life, and it would help all of humanity just by getting all these things in place and maintaining it financially. So are you that person? Oh,
Maybe.
Maybe it could happen.
Working on stuff.
All right. I know a lot of people being promised the Nasara Gasara. I didn't mention that. And so that could be the funding source right there. Who knows? Since oil is the least controllable substance on Earth, it's impossible to derive any monetary profit from it. Therefore, our philanthropist Angel will invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to do the study. The double-blind study confirms that lab tests are necessary in order to determine which so-called virus is causing an infection, and oil therapy is beneficial for human health. I have to go back to India. I keep having going back to India. They've been at this thousands of years, and before social media, nobody was questioning its validity.
Hmm.
I mean, now that everything else is up for questioning, all of reality is up for questioning, all the systems are up for questioning. Now everybody's even questioning the urine therapy.
Hmm.
I'm going, well, we're going to give them whatever they need so the questions stop.
Yeah.
But this didn't happen in India thousands of years ago. Everybody go, oh, my holy man said it's okay to drink my urine. I will do that. Very simple. The double-blind study confirmed the lab tests are not necessary. Consequently, the pharmaceutical companies, as word spreads, let's go back a paragraph. As word spreads about AUT, many laboratory owners and technicians will be out of business, out of work. Consequently, the pharmaceutical companies that make antibiotics, as well as pharmacies and stores that sell antibiotics, including health food stores selling natural plant sources of antibiotics, are cutting back on their workforce and may possibly close their business because there's no need to use synthetic antibiotics anymore. Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India declares urine therapy as an acceptable form of self-help care to the nation of India and to the world. And he did that about 3-4 years ago.
Oh, gosh.
That was put on some India website that the Prime Minister endorsed urine therapy. And I think he was influenced by the Prime Minister back in the 1960s, Desai, who ends up coming to America on 60 Minutes with Dan Rather talking to him about urine therapy and why he's so healthy at age 93.
Oh.
That's still going around. Prime Minister Desai, Maraji Desai, he actually asked the journalist Dan Rather if he'd be willing to drink his pee. And Dan, oh boy, he pulled out of that one really fast. He says, oh, that's a thing in your country. That's one of your practices. I'll pass.
Hmm.
Hi. She looks like Wonder Woman with the stars. It's great outfit.
This is the one that wants to actually be a scientist. And I was like, oh, you study pee? And she's like, yeah.
Great. I'm going to watch your progress over the next couple of years. Can't wait to read what you've discovered. Governments will include UT in the curriculum in all the medical and educational institutions. Hospitals and healthcare providers will provide AUT as their #1 treatment. All states and countries will give official recognition to AUT. This is quite a stretch on a vision, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
It would be that widely accepted. There will be a cooperation and a coordination between different disciplines of healthcare to assist in overcoming all illnesses and contributing to the happiness, well-being, and health of humanity. We will become self-reliant as people find out about the basic and natural therapeutic practice, which is safe, sure, simple, and free. This is the gift of life known as Shivambu or ON therapy. On the next page, you will see what appears to be a man and a woman toasting some kind of drink standing next to their bicycles. Well, this was a stained glass window outside a restaurant/pub in Colorado. And you know how my filter interprets things. I look at it and go, no, these guys are toasting Shivambu. Why does everybody think it's beer? Because it's at those places that sell the beer. So I had to take a picture and include it in the book. So we get a different perspective. Recent reply to a water brother in South Africa about UT training, UT centers in Africa and certification. You can get my previous book, Healing Water from Within, or as a digital copy direct from me. There are currently no formal training centers in South Africa, which is in the process of changing because I was interviewed 3 days ago on a broadcast from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Mm.
So there's interest in South Africa, there's interest in Nigeria, there's students in Kenya, Botswana, Nigeria, and a couple other countries out there.
Wow.
And Dr. Booney out there in Nigeria was starting to build a urotherapy clinic on his property. So I hope he finished it.
Exciting. It's on my list.
Yep, mine too. However, since I've written, there's practitioners in Africa. The strong families are in Botswana, Nigeria, and Kenya. They're working on UT conference with me as a guest speaker, and that's in process. I don't know where it's at right now, but that's scheduled. The conference in Botswana is scheduled for February. So once we get closer to that time and it's going to come together, everybody will get the announcement. With AUT, it doesn't matter the name of a disease or a story about it, lab tests or personal beliefs. Shivambu brings healing and miracles and answers to prayers. Which is a whole other paradigm in itself because everybody has to categorize diseases and symptoms and solutions. And it's simpler than that. Your body's either wants to regenerate and heal and build or clean and purify and detox. And Shivambu doesn't care about that. Kind of like God. It doesn't care what you want to believe about God as long as you don't abandon him. Shivambu doesn't care as long as you don't abandon your water.
Yeah.
Please don't give up on yourself. Any questions?
Nope.
Let me look through here and see if there's something I might want to bring to light. Have you done or are you considering doing a Shivambu fast?
I'm currently doing one.
Oh, what day are you in?
5.
5 day? And are you taking any other liquids?
Just water.
Just water? Okay. And how's your energy, your clarity, your muscle?
It's getting better. The first couple days were a little rough because I was dealing with headaches, and just being like really tired, but I think I'm on the upswing of it now. So
Good. Do you have a timeline in mind? How many days, or are you just going to wait till your body
40.
says, that's you? Okay. Wow. Are you journaling?
Yes, I do have a journal that I'm doing. Well, I'm also video documenting things as well, so
Yeah,
which will
please
all
do.
be released at some point.
Good, because this is exploratory. This is new discovery. This is new territory. And for you to be able to successfully go through a 40-day urine fast, it's going to open up possibilities for people who never thought that was possible.
Well, I did my 3-day, or was it 36-hour dry fast. I came off of that and was good. I mean, coming off of it was a little rocky, because I broke it with an oran enema. Yeah, I mean, I figured, well, I can do that. Might as well try this.
I'm glad you say you didn't break it with a veggie burger.
No.
Or something really heavy or outrageous. So the gist of the book is that we're going to like, why joke about this? Why not, right?
Yeah.
So the two things that really stand out as the key factors that make this work is faith and humor. Because it's a subject that's controversial. It's a subject that some people consider conspiratory. Goes outside the agreed upon reality for those who never heard about it or consider it. So if you're going to bring it up in conversation, it's a good idea to poke fun at it. And I'm sure you've had opportunities to do that.
Here and there.
Here and there. you know, you just bring out conversation. I drink my pee, doesn't everybody? Isn't that the new norm?
Well, it could be.
I know. Well, you might as well do what I do is surround yourself with plenty of people. There's like 22 people on this island who practice urine therapy. So if I get enough people on this island, then I can bump into somebody almost every day and go, it's the new norm. It's not so outrageous.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm hoping once I get to the community, because we're not in the community that we're building in yet, that I can spark a little bit of a revolution there, find some other people that are interested. So
You will. And I recommend you get copies of my books if we can get them shipped to you any way possible. And I can, yeah, did you ever figure that out if you could buy books from Amazon?
yeah, I did, and it's um shipping it from Miami to here, whether it's between like air or sea, it's anywhere between like 850 and 450 per pound to get it shipped then to San Jose.
Weighs 5 ounces.
Oh, okay, well,
All right.
that's
Well,
not so
but
bad.
that's per book. That's per book. If you can do that, great. If you can find a way it's cheaper for me to ship it using USPS, then I can ship it from here. One of my students in Australia bought 35 copies, and
Oh, okay.
it was cheaper for me to ship it and pay $97 shipping than to go through Amazon.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Because Amazon, they've got a pre-calculated, there's no wiggle room.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'll have to figure that out.
All right, guys, get your laugh track ready. We're moving into aha time. And for those that didn't hear about it, there is a book of piscabulary words and jokes called The Piscabulary of Urinisms. And if you have any new words you'd like me to include in the second edition, we've been accepting, my buddy and I, Art, who've been collecting new, urine jokes, piss jokes, for the next edition. We're already collecting them and starting to think ahead.
Come across any, I'll let you know.
I'm sure it will come up eventually. Sean, throw some jokes this way. All right, here we go. I'm going to read page 247. Humor as a therapeutic adjunct or add-on, whatever you want to call it, to AUT makes a difference. Smiling not only increases one's face value, smiling produces endorphins and happy molecules. Have you ever heard of that?
Mhm.
It's very contagious when you live in Costa Rica, or particularly if you live, in the right kind of setting, like here in Hawaii. Everybody smiles at everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
nods and acknowledges there's a true aloha spirit that's transferred with people to people, even if they've never met you.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that down here too, as opposed to where we were living.
Like Wisconsin.
Yes.
Yeah, well, those cities have, yeah, we'll just leave it there. They have what they have. While dealing with the controversial subject of drinking one's pee and sharing AUT with sick people who wish to help, you wish to help, it will take a sense of humor as well as a sensitivity to earn the acceptance by prospects, I put in quote, and newbies on the UT path. The Piscabulary of Urinisms, I changed the name, by the way. The Piscabulary of Urinisms was included in the book Healing Water from Within, along with piss cartoons, pee jokes, pee memes. I didn't know the word meme back then. Pee memes, celebrities discussing drinking pee, or people singing pee drinking songs was for readers to learn how to lighten up when presenting UT to anyone. Have you seen or heard of any Hollywood celebrities or musicians sharing the fact that they use urine in their practices?
Not that I know of.
All
I
right,
mean,
here.
I'm sure there's a ton of them that do and don't talk about it, but
All right, when it first came to people's attention in 2006, there was a professional boxer who came out, and he said he not only drank urine to help him win the box, but he soaked his fists and his hands in it, so his hands would be protected every time he would fight.
Hmm.
Right? And then we had this gal nobody's heard of called Madonna, and she comes on David Letterman, and he says, "Well, there's nothing you could do to shock me. Everything you do shocks me." He says, "Do you have anything else you could tell me?" She says, "Well, when I'm in the shower, I like to pee on my feet, and it prevents foot fungus and athlete's foot." So she came out and did that. And then later she did another thing when she was talking about cold water plunges. She was talking about urine therapy again.
Oh,
Right? So we've seen celebrities. Who was it? Brad Pitt. You've never heard of him. Then there was a
no.
guy named Brad Pitt who came on the the Fight Club movie, and he said, "Urine, it's sterile. You can drink it."
He
And
says that in the movie?
there's a clip floating around, unless it was CGI produced. It shows him saying, and he's got the outfit. It's like they took it right out of the film. "Urine, it's sterile. You can drink it."
Huh, interesting.
Brad Pitt. And then there's a movie with Kevin Costner called Waterworld.
Hmm.
Ever heard of that one?
Yeah, but he like filters it in that movie, doesn't he?
He's out in the sea. He pees into a cup. It goes through a filtration system, and then he drinks it.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to go through all that trouble. He could just drink it. But the fact that we're identifying him with drinking urine is kind of close.
Yeah. No, I thought about that. Um,
There was also David Duchovny from the X-Files. And there was a scene out of one of his shows where it was the morning after, and he was trying to overcome a hangover from the night before. And while he's talking to somebody, he's bent over and he's peeing into an empty either wine or booze bottle. And then he turns around and he drinks it in front of his friend. He
huh,
says, "This is the only remedy I know of for hangovers."
huh,
So
interesting.
yeah, and Monty Python, some of the guys from Monty Python made fun of this, and so that's what's floating around. As celebrities actually were either serious or not serious, but it was great comedy. All right, we're going to page 248. Humor and piss puns produce a temporary shift in the mind in its attempt to take in a new idea, particularly one that challenges our perception of reality or beliefs learned from, quote, trusted sources. While a person is going through mental gymnastics to be able to understand and integrate this new idea known as a sorting out process or sorting out period, AUT as an idea is worth considering. This must sink deeper into the mind until we get it. Now, that picture is hard to read unless you have a magnifying glass, but I won't read it. Humor is the key that opens the mind. It spices and lightens up any apparent difficulties. Humor, like a powerful laser light, penetrates even the most guarded of minds, allowing new ideas to be planted in a now fertile soil. Did you ever, were you ever into puns?
Not really.
Telling puns? Was Sean a joker? Sean a joker?
A little bit.
A little bit. I'm sure he likes to tease his wife. Yeah, okay. One pioneer in laughter research claimed it took 10 minutes. Hold on, I'm going to grab some Shivambu here. This was an hour ago. Wow. One researcher claimed that it took 10 minutes on a roaring machine for his heart rate to reach the level it would after just 1 minute of hearty laughter. There was a guy, what is his name? If I can remember his name, I'll tell you. He ends up going to hospital, he has a terminal illness, and he watched Groucho Marx and old comedians from the 50s and 60s. And after a month of doing that, the doctors couldn't find any reason to keep him in the hospital, and he was recovered and he went home.
Oh,
So he basically spent a month laughing.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. 10 minutes of laughter can easily produce 2 hours of pain-free sleep, as well as a mind that's free from worry. It has been shown in several studies that the ability to laugh raises the level of infection-fighting antibodies by the body, as well as boosts the level of immune cells. Your body responds incredibly well to the effects of belly laughs. I notice that when I tell jokes and it cracks me up, it didn't matter if it cracked anybody else up. But just know this, if you decide to become a comedian, which people are encouraging me to do for some reason, if you decide to become a comedian and your material makes people laugh, if it makes you laugh, then you got a good joke. Does that make
Yes.
sense to tell something that cracked you up and affected people that way?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, practice some joke telling. You know, we don't want it to be a lost art. It has been shown in several studies, the ability to laugh does that wonderful stuff of affecting the immune system. Orin, especially during looping, either SIP looping or all-out full tilt looping, increases antibodies, nourishes the nervous system, especially the adrenal glands, normalizes work of blood vessels, and lowers blood pressure. Considering that in 2024, what's today's date? The 5th?
6.
The September 6, 2024, with a lot of things that are going on in the world right now, and a lot of people are anxious about things, and a lot of people are high strung with energy overload, adrenal glands on overload, information overload, wouldn't be a good time to practice laughing?
I agree.
Because people are going down because they're sucked into the hopium or into the fear porn, and they've all but lost their sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And if
I agree.
I could prescribe that, I would just say, hey, here's a prescription, laugh 10 minutes a day, go outside and find something funny to laugh about. Adding comedy, humor, and laughter reactivates, amplifies, enhances the body's strength as it brings positive effects. Regardless of whether laughter actually does improve your health or boosts your energy, it undeniably improves the quality of your life. Enjoying laughing is the reason to laugh. Being pissed on is more therapeutic than staying pissed off. That got through. Page 250, por favor. Get hit by learning an hilarious new Orin or urine language. It is packed with piss-rich puns and new Orin words with definitions. Learn it today. It won't be confiscated, and you will not be pissing away your time. These words are all in the book, by the way. Breathe, exhale, and release all pressure from your belly, your mind, your bladder, and your gut. Here's a pistacular idea that will facilitate your coordination with others. P-puns are guaranteed to take you beyond or beyond the known Oriniverse, the Orinosphere, where Shivambu devotees gather. Now, what's interesting, I might have brought this to your awareness a couple classes ago, but since I put these out publicly and I came up with all these words, and they've been flooding all across social media, I hear more and more people in the worldwide community using these words.
Fantastic.
So it's made its way into the vocabulary. Isn't that pistastic?
Fantastic, yes.
Yeah. It's not as peculiar as it was years ago. So glad I could pee myself with you. Let's keep going. The worldwide water family openly and sincerely show their respect and love for each other. In my experience, I feel everyone's love and gratitude for hearing this message in the most perfect way. Just be happy, be active, and drink your pee today. Today's mantra: This isn't just for guys that are in their 40s and 50s with prostate issues, but it applies to I now pee easily, effortlessly, and on time. And being able to pee freely is a sign of trust. Because when you got to go, you got to go.
Agreed.
Nothing's going to stop you, not even being in a place where there's no bathroom. You will find a way to do what you got
Oh,
to do.
yes, I have. I have.
I see the girls in the community here in Kauai, and oftentimes we're doing a bonfire or we're gathering out by the beach. And all they do is they back up to the nearby bushes and squat. You know, they're usually wearing a skirt or a wraparound. They squat, and one gal covers her face so nobody can identify her. And they just let it come out right there on the beach.
Might as well.
I mean, yeah, you got to let nature, you know, take care of itself. I release, relax, and am present when I pee. That's one of the things that keeps you in present time. When you're urinating, are you focusing on anything else?
Not really.
No, you're not thinking about your kids, your husband. You're not thinking about what's for dinner. You're going, let me get through this, God. I just want to finish. That's the closest thing that most people got to orgasm. Just the satisfaction of release. Oh, this is lovely. Thank you. So glad it's given to us. That's simple pleasure. Are we having a magnificent time now? You're in good hands with your own water. Just trust and flow with it. Hey, if they can't take a joke, you know what to do. Just pee on them. Just do it. Have you come aboard the Orin wave before it becomes the big change? Come on in. The water's fine. Either get pissy drinking or get busy sinking. Did you ever see the Shank Shaw Redemption movie?
Yep. One of my favorites.
Mine too. You know what scene I'm referring to?
Yep. Either get busy living or get busy dying.
And he took his advice seriously, and he figured.
Indeed. And wound up in, can't remember the name of the place that was at the end of the movie.
Cancun, Cozumel?
No, it was some obscure something or another.
I liked how he did it. When he was coming up to the property, he goes along this rock wall, and all this money and things were stashed there for him. How he figured that one out. And then they told him, yeah. And he got his back. And didn't he end up meeting Morgan on the
I think so.
He finally got out of prison.
Yeah. Good movie. Great movie.
It was very inspiring. The warden couldn't figure out, and then he picks up the picture of Marilyn Monroe by he finds the tunnel. Anyway, that was a very good movie. Okay, where are we? Have you come across the new Orin? I read that. Hemponomics is what happens with a hemp farmer who uses Orin in his field. His plants and income become enormous. That's what a hemp farmer uses. Do you remember Mary Poppins?
Yep.
Was it her who sang the song Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious? Did she slip in expialidocious and nobody caught it?
Maybe.
I don't know, but it's worth considering. That's what I put it in. Simply let the Piscapulary of Urinisms, which is in the resource section of the book, fill up your joy tank, and you will never be piss poor again. Thank you, Rooster. Oh, we're gonna take a break here. We're gonna take a break here, so you can do whatever you need to do. Do you have any questions?
No, not yet.
Let me tell you what's up. We might cut loose early today. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right. Now, when this is all said and done, and this is all over, you can always reach out to me for review, guidance, or whatever you need to.
Perfect.
All right. I'm willing to be that person in your life, but I'm not willing to be a person you can just call out and go, I got shit coming up. Can I dump on you?
Yeah, I'm not that kind of person. I don't. Sean is the only one I dump all my crap on.
Okay, good. So when we get back from the break, we're going to look at who the heck Shivambu nonprofit organization is. Now, even though the guy who put it together, a friend of mine, Christopher, decided to go the route of 501c3 and not 508c1 or whatever it is, this is all he knew. So he set it up that way. Right? He didn't set it up as a ministry, he didn't set it up outside the matrix, but it is an official 501c3 nonprofit, just so you know. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that and point out some of the resources, where to get testimonials, references. And at the very end there's a little passage from the author. And that's it.
Perfect.
All right, I'm turning off recording. All right, guys, this is a urine therapy training course number 29-5. We're back from our break, and people have been having lovely afternoon tea. Oh, it's pee time. We're not in England. We can't do have a cup of tea. Have a cup of tea.
Actually just looped like a whole class of this just like minutes ago. So
Congratulations. So we've gone through, for those just now getting in here, we went through the teachings and education, the manual for urine therapy teachers. There's our rooster. And this book answers everything. This book goes into detail. This book talks about everything for how to get started and why are people using this and what are the benefits and how to introduce it and on it goes. So it's a highly usable, user-friendly book. And we're coming to the end of our lovely class with our one student. And the next class, in case you don't, did I tell you the dates of the next course?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's going to be September 13th, all Fridays, September 13th through October 11th. And coming up this month, all the way to November, we're going to start up the World Urine Therapy Conference calls. So you can get to interact with people who are all over the planet that have been practicing it for quite some time. The next one, and if it works out, sometimes we have people's favorite speakers that come on these calls. So the next one is going to be on the 21st of September. That's number 45. Number 46 is going to be October 12th. And number 47, I like how it worked out. Number 47 is right before Election Day, if you know what the number 47 signifies. That's going to be on November 2nd. And you froze. She froze. Just as I get a text from somebody. And let's stop the recording for now. So urine therapy training courses are going to continue. And the student is about to return to class. Our sister, our UT sister Keegan out there in Costa Rica with her family and their 5 cats and their new location. She too has a vision of putting together something out there for the world. She's an upcoming new teacher who's she's gone past beginner to intermediate. She might be at master level already. So she's going to come back. Looks like her internet went out for just a little bit, but she's about to come back. If somebody will hook me up with Scott McKay and RFJ, what's his name? RFK Jr. We'll see if we can have a talk with him about if he really wants to make the United States healthy again, then he needs to start opening up publicly about urine therapy, like many of the patriots are starting to do, and naturopaths and holistic doctors, and this guy with the big mouth out in Hawaii. So any minute now, Keegan will be joining us. So we're going to turn off the recording for now and give her a chance to join us on this call. Aloha for now. I'll be right back. So Keegan has made her way back. She was she just took some time off to go figure out how to get back into the Internet of Things on this Zoom platform. Okay, welcome back.
Hopefully it'll work because it's telling me my computer is like dying. I don't know what it's plugged in.
Yeah, every now and then you look like you're like in slow motion before on again.
I'm wondering if I should just log in with my phone, if that would be better.
Well, we don't have much content left to go over, which is the way it is. I figured it was a service glitch or a
Yeah,
network.
no, like it just like died, but it's been plugged in the whole time. I don't know.
You got enough juice on that device?
And it's plugged in. I don't know why it wouldn't be. All right,
Okay,
sorry about that.
that's okay. We're back. We're gonna find out here who the heck this Shivambu organization is.
Oh, you were saying about the world conferences.
The World Conferences, number 45 is going to be September 21st. Let me double check. I believe these are at 9:30 Hawaii time. It's either 9 or 9:30, which would make it 2:30 or 3 Eastern Standard Time. I had to learn these time zone differences.
Yeah.
9 o'clock, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's on the 21st. So every one of these conference calls will be at the same time, 9 a.m. Hawaii time. The one after that is going to be number 46. It's going to, excuse me, where's my peak? Is going to be on October 12th, 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And the last one, which happens to be number 47, right around election time, if number 47 rings a bell, be on, I didn't plan it that way, November the 2nd.
So September 21st, October 12th, and November 2nd.
Right. So November 2nd is just around the corner for November 5th, which is going to be either a game changer or God knows what. So looking forward to that day.
I'm sure it'll be a circus either way.
It
Lots of
hasn't,
energy.
it hasn't stopped since 2000 and who knows when.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a look at this organization called shivambu.org. It was originally called the Global Shivambu Awareness Mission, GSAM, but we decided to simplify it, so we call it Shivambu. And this was designed to put together an infrastructure for the whole worldwide community. And I think we did a pretty good job with the directory, a social media platform, teaching people how to take this off the internet, just all kinds of things that were produced and are still being produced and will be produced in the future that has been born out of the joining of myself and Christopher and McLean out in California. We had Indira for a while. She was in Boulder. And so we had as many as 4 to 6 people that were, Therese, on our board of directors.
Oh, awesome.
So it was a real organization. We had real meetings. We got onto meetup.com. We met at a downtown public library, we reserved a room. And what I loved about it, how synchronistic the universe works. The name of the room, now we're a nonprofit, so we can use, those kind of meeting rooms. The name of the meeting room was called El Dorado, which means in English, gold.
Ah,
So we thought it was golden opportunity to be in the gold room. That was our inside joke. And we had as many as anywhere from 12 to 15 people attending.
nice.
So it was designed to not only build that for the community, but teach other people how they could do the same thing if they were inspired.
To build nonprofits, you mean?
No, to build a supportive UT community where you live.
Yes.
And I've started to drop the idea here on Kauai, since there's about 20 to 22 people who practice here. 3 or 4 of them agreed that they would join.
So,
And I've been giving away my books to newbies, the people who I started the conversation. I said, "You want a deeper education? Here's a free copy of the Healing Water book." And so it's been great to be able to practice generosity with something I used to hold on to and go, "But this is worth $25. I should get money for it." I'm going, "Yeah, but they'll get a lot more value out of it. So shut up, Sage." And so I practice that. So we're on page 252. Shivambu, a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and Shivambu Hut is the first alternative social media platform focused just on UT. Now, of course, it's social media. So we have people who get off topic. We have people who jump on board, and they're either selling Bitcoin or prostitution or escort service or radio mechanisms, whatever it is. We've had to have somebody assigned to remove and block and delete these people so they don't overpopulate our group. And there's currently 1,360 members, of which you are a member.
I am.
So feel free to post content. Shivambu's mission, here's our mission statement, since every organization has to have one, is to support, educate individuals in taking responsibility for their personal well-being through the daily practice of auto urine therapy. And that's still our mission statement. To tip the tipping point, the increasing cosmic energy or light wave is here. It is visible as a golden liquid structure known as Shivambu. To reach as many minds as possible, messengers are using their voices in platforms like social media, TV, radio, and books. Our efforts to bring the Shivambu message to local residents is paying off. In 2019, a Channel 9 news reporter and camera person attended one of our meetup groups at the main library. It released an avalanche of attention, discussion, and growing interest in Orin therapy. There have not only been, now the statistics have increased, so we're up to 86,000 views on this story. The other one, which I believe I'm going to get into in a minute here, Channel 7. Channel 7 ends up coming to my, and Therese is at the house. And did I tell you about that one?
I don't think so.
They come to the apartment, and first they show all my sacrets on the altar. I don't know how they're trying to write us up. They showed all my energy devices and pictures of gurus and saints and all this. And we're doing Tai Chi in the living room. And then we came into the kitchen and had all these topical protocol equipment out on the counter. And I was teaching the cameraman and the news reporter how to do protocols. I drank on camera. We showed them how all these different protocols work. And they did a good job of it at the very beginning of it. And then they take it back to the studio, they edit it, and the last 30 seconds of the final production, they throw in a doctor to demonize everything.
Of course.
Oh, these guys are a cult and they're crazy and they have no idea they're drinking waste product, blah, blah, blah. But what they did not expect to happen is over 100,000 views.
Oh, wow.
So the lesson was even bad news was good news.
Yeah.
It helped the movement and they didn't realize it. So be willing to be a fool.
Mhm.
You might be benefiting humanity. Unless
Whatever.
you're past that. But here we go. When Channel 9 News came to the downtown library, it released an avalanche and there was over 86,000 views. This story, since this TV story aired, but this also spun off to dozens of interviews and stories showing up across the planet. Looks like the Urotherapy of Colorado meetup group keeps spreading. Our recent meeting drew the attention of Channel 7 News. Now, I forget which was NBC and which is CBS, all the affiliates, since I don't keep up with that. After airing the story, several affiliate stations reached out to Brother Sage. There was ESPN, Newsweek, CNN. They were all reaching for a story because it caught on with all the affiliates. That's how they get all their, through the feed, they get the story. Within a week, Brother Sage was contacted and interviewed on a health show based out of China. This was in Hong Kong. It's called Sama One with John, and that's his picture. He was also into urotherapy, so it made it a much better show and much better host to do the interview.
That's good.
So the show was aired across China.
Wow.
That's why I want my books in Mandarin,
In
in Chinese. All responses, positive or negative, continue to bring more energy to the sacred mission and message. Shivamba organization has positioned itself as a major education and awareness leader or branch in the Shivambu movement. Some of the work of Shivambu is to bring the education and awareness to local communities. By taking the message and mission off the internet, many more who do not use the internet can be reached, which will be your experience, as has been mine, that when you start the conversation or start the buzz in your local community, then people who have never heard of it or have resistance, like people of certain generations, they don't want to touch the internet, much less a smartphone. So, it's hard to reach those people. And a lot of them have health issues. Working with local TV enthusiasts and the local media stations creates a stronger local presence for the city and the state. With regular UT meetings, new people can learn about UT while being in a room with devoted UT people and gain by their experiences and wisdom, which is what we noticed when there was 3 or 4 newbies that showed up at the library. You couldn't help but notice they're in a room with guys who've been doing this for 30, 40, 50 years. It got to affect them. I'm just watching, their eyes are lit up and going, you guys are serious about this. You seem to know what you're doing. Well, we've been practicing a while. And after you get down that road, girl, you're down that road and you put in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you'll know what that spot feels like. It does wonders on your certainty and confidence. Local communities that learn how to introduce this to newbies become UT teachers and promote their groups, the gift of the water of life, in person, online, and with the local media. Having a local support group, I got to have some more of this stuff. This might be my looping day. Having a local support group brings enthusiasm for Shivambu by creating a safe space for folks to open up about their journey, their successes, their failures, and new ideas on making UT presentations. Every water sister and water brother who meets with others forms unbroken friendship for life. Have you noticed that? Have you met any new UT people on the internet?
Not that I've really connected with, but I've spoken to people. Other than you, I should say.
Oh, all right, I get it. So I've noticed a lot of people have formed best friends for life in this community. because of people they've gotten to open up and talk about the subject that they couldn't talk about it with their partner or their family or anybody. And they felt right at home, which is very nice, very nice. Let's see, where am I? Of life. Will you take a stand with Shivambu and the Shivambu movement? Invite your friends to join us at our own alternative social media platform known as the Shivambu Hut. Here you can ask questions, dialogue with fellow UT practitioners, and post UT content for members to enjoy. Here at the Hut, you can read articles and watch educational and entertaining UT videos. Now, there is a way on these platforms like Zoom, and there's an alternative to Zoom, which is going around. I haven't really explored it deeply. It's n.com, meetin.com. And they have more bells and whistles on their platform, and it's less expensive than Zoom. But I know.
Told you about that?
What?
Wasn't I the one that told you about that?
That was you. Okay. Bing, bing. Thank you. So the Shivambu Hut does not, unless you're going to pay the top dollar of whatever type of account you have, you can't do a live stream on that platform.
Oh, okay.
So what I do is I post the link and people go to that link and we do the live stream on Zoom instead of the Hut. Which would be nice because we can see who's online. That's what I love about the Hut. You can see which members are online. So much for privacy. Yeah, I know you're watching. You're there. All Hut members. Okay, where was it? Take a stand. Invite your friends to join us at the Alternative Shivambu Hut. Here you can ask questions, dialogue, and post content. Here at the Hut, you can read articles and watch educational and entertaining videos. All Hut members, which we affectionately refer to as Water Family, are encouraged to contribute any content relating to UT topics that are found on the site. Using your writing skills and passion for this precious water to educate others, which furthers the awareness and message of AUT across Earth. Supporting Shivambu financially, energetically, or through collaborating helps with logistics, promotions, productions, public outreach, and day-by-day work in building, maintaining, and growing a global humanitarian mission. Now, I didn't realize that when we put this together, and I started making content after video, after advertise. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, which costs us the money. And most people don't realize that. When I've been pitching everyone for donations, their poverty consciousness, whatever's came up, and they didn't, some send, some didn't, but we're putting our own time and money into doing all this.
Yes. Yep.
And what a joy it's been. So coming into this chapter here, bless you for coming home to our water family, and especially coming home to you. Let us know today. Much water, love, Brother Sage. So that's our organization. It still exists today. And there was for a time we were doing a newsletter every month or every other month. McLean was the editor, and we would give her content, and we would go over back and forth. We'd have conference calls, and they haven't done that in a while. The closest urine therapy newsletter that I'm aware of is shivalifestyle.com. Art and I put this together. This was our contribution to the infrastructure. We have the one-stop shopping center for any of your Shivambu wellness lifestyle needs, equipment, accessories, and so forth. And we were producing, we got 2 newsletters out, February of this year and March. And the February issue was dedicated to urine therapy couples.
Oh, yes. I think you sent me that one.
So we have an article from Jess and Eddie out there in North Carolina, and from my kids, Chitta and Emily. And these guys are willing to let us have a peek into their life when it comes to sharing UT with each other.
Oh, beautiful.
So the rest of this book, as you can see here, is references. So if you want to find some of these articles, there's one from NIH.gov, PubMed. There's a pH range of urine in Wikipedia. By the way, I started editing Wikipedia and I got away with it for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, isn't it technically like it's a free, like anybody can edit it, right? I thought that's how it worked.
Yeah, but because the websites have AI in it, uh, they can stop and censor and resist it without human emotion about it.
Yeah.
And so if you go to Wikipedia and you type in urine therapy, you'll notice there's some words there that Wikipedia would not have put in there, like I put in the word shivambu. It was
Mm.
not in there and it stuck. And it's either urine therapy or urophagia. They left the links to my books in there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I started including all kinds of stuff until they stopped me. And so you can see, kind of figure out uh, who is the mischievous one who got those words in there. So if you ever want to edit Wikipedia, no matter what the subject is, have fun.
Well, it was funny because I was actually thinking about that today because I can't remember what it was on, something podium or something. And I was reading and it was just an article that was all about, it being a waste product and people who believe it, or it's just a placebo effect, blah, blah, blah. I was like, and then I thought about the Wikipedia stuff and I was like, huh, maybe edit that stuff, make it
Try
sound a
it.
little.
You got nothing to lose. It's either going to make it or it's not going to make it. I actually went to Groupon. You know what Groupon is?
Yeah.
Did I tell you
Yeah.
about my event with Groupon?
Well, you didn't tell me about it, but I saw it on one of the chats.
Yeah, I took a screenshot because I didn't think it was going to last. And it was all about discount prices on urine therapy classes, consultations, and so forth. And it lasted all of about 2 days before they said, no, not acceptable.
Uh, why is it not acceptable?
It doesn't meet their standards, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Community standards. There's probably some old church lady who's going, oh, that ain't right. We can't have that. All right, so these are the references. Urine therapy briefing and for scientists 2012, excerpts from a biomedics. That's not, link's not even there. And then you go in the next couple pages, you'll see links to testimonials. Shirley's Wellness Cafe is one of my favorite because she goes into great detail with urine therapy testimonials, including testimonials for pet owners.
Oh, okay.
So
I
it's
actually
good.
had the kittens some Orin the other day.
Yeah, well,
Well, they drank it.
they know.
Yeah.
Just somehow know. So these are all good things to know when somebody reaches out to you and say, do you have any testimonial for this condition or that condition, or working with parrots? Can I feed this to my iguana? Whatever their pet is. And then you can direct them to these websites. The next couple pages is resources, social media groups, which there's a lot more than what I put in the book. Facebook groups. What I didn't know about back then is there's 6 Telegram groups. New ones show up every now and then. There's 5 or 6 on WhatsApp, 3 or
Oh,
4 of them from India. One started in Africa. So you can find these. And on Facebook, there's Yuichi. Yuichi was his last name. He runs the Japanese urine therapy Facebook group. And he's also connected to the Chinese groups. He's the guy who translated my book into Japanese.
oh, wonderful.
Yeah, quite a revolutionary out there. All right, so that's Facebook. Like I mentioned, there's more social media platforms. There's like 1 or 2 on Instagram. One person I follow and I really love her work is Messages in Urine. It's a Instagram page. It's run by Fiona Gardner, who looks under urine. under like high magnification with electron microscope, and she revealed to the world all these crystal structures inside urine. Some of
Mm,
them look like crosses and horses and faces and sacred geometry and all kinds of things you could see in her pictures, and she's still running it.
oh,
Messages in urine. So you can see here, there's various teachers with their websites, media coverage. Those links are still good as far as I know. As we get down to that page, you have different organizations that range from shivambu.org to Shivambu Hut. There's probably a lot more organizations that I didn't know about back then. A lot of them come out of India and Germany and Africa. Here's a list of all the authors that I knew about up to 2020. There's a lot more since then. And the other page is instructional and entertaining videos from how to diffuse with Oren, ear, eyes, and nose, and multiple protocols. Now, I haven't double checked these links. Perhaps if I look at a Kindle, these might be live links.
mhm.
A shortcut teaching method, tongue cleaning method. I really like teaching beginners class because these guys are very new to the subject.
Mhm.
And so everything is an eye opener to them. If you get to the point you teach the beginning class, you get to see what you know and you find out what they don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Get it across to them. All right, I'm going to read the last word and then we'll be done. On that other picture is the Water of Life Symposium that I attended. It was actually 2018. And you can't tell, but I'm on the first row next to David Jubb. There was a guy, Henry, who was organizing the retreat in Baja California, but he never pulled it off.
Oh man, you said because of COVID happened and
Everything changed.
yeah.
I was geared up to go everywhere, and then I COVID hits. I'm going, I don't even want to go to an airport
Yeah.
because of all the insanity in the airports. So we're going to read this last word from the author, and then we're going to come to the close, take off the recording, talk or not talk, give each other a hug. Here we go. Since the first release of urine therapy books in 1944, rather than the doubt and criticism one would expect to encounter, there was tens of thousands of people who willingly accepted the information in the books, like John W. Armstrong. Thanks to somebody having the love, courage, and wisdom to take the time to share UT with others, there are currently over 500 million, the new statistics, the other book didn't have it, 500 million known, I don't know if I got that, 500 known million Shivambu enthusiasts worldwide, and I would include 50 countries that we've identified so far. Many people, including doctors, are coming forward to talk about their own UT experiences or about news stories they've read that talk about using urine medicinally, orally and topically, and in survival situations. After reading over these reports and looking at all of the other many studies on urine therapy, I couldn't help thinking, why didn't anyone ever tell us about this? You can answer that yourself. I'm sure you got an answer. Keep the Shivambu faith, dear ones. Keep doing an awesome job at spreading the message. Glad we've been blessed with our water family. And that is that.
Perfect.
You are ready to take whatever steps you're going to take with this knowledge and with your practice and whatever direction life's going to take you.
I did actually set up today my little calendar link for people to schedule free 30-minute consultations. Wink, wink. Find that on the description below.
Yeah, thanks for reminding. I got to add that. Add Keegan's links to, what is today, the 6th? Video. Okay. Did you notice how many how many hits we got on our shows?
No, I haven't looked.
I haven't either, but there's oftentimes we'll get 50, 75 hits in the first 24 hours.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, that tells us something.
Perfect.
Love it, love it, love it. Is your wall yellow too?
No, it's this like sunset light that I have.
Oh, it's a reflection.
Yeah.
All right, I'm flipping off the recording.